So let's start with a question, something maybe to think about personally. What area of your life really needs a fresh start? And maybe the harder part, can you trust God to actually make it new?
Hmm, that does cut deep, doesn't it? Because, well, we all carry things. Burdens, regrets, moments, maybe even whole seasons that feel, I don't know, marred by the past.
Yeah, like a story you just wish you could rewrite somehow.
Exactly. And today we want to do a bit of a deep dive into this really profound promise, one that speaks directly to that feeling, that human experience.
And it offers more than just, well, vague hope. It suggests a kind of certainty, a radical transformation.
It really does. It addresses that, that weight of history, how the past can just cling to us, shape how we see today, maybe even limit how we imagine tomorrow.
Personal failures, deep wounds, or even just being tired, worn down.
Right. It's so easy to feel defined by what's already happened. But there is this declaration, an assurance, really, that offers a way out of that, out of yesterday and into something completely new.
And this assurance, it comes from, well, the ultimate authority, doesn't it?
It does. The core promise we're looking at today is captured in this, well, breathtaking statement. He who was seated on the throne said, I am making everything new.
Wow. That phrase, he who is seated on the throne, it immediately signals absolute power, sovereignty.
Yes, that's not just a casual remark. It's a present tense declaration from the one who holds all authority. It's not a wish, not just a plan. It's happening now.
That phrase is critical then. He who is seated on the throne.
Absolutely critical. It grounds the promise. This isn't just anyone speaking. It's the one with the inherent right, the power to govern, to judge, and yes, profoundly to renew.
For anyone familiar with that imagery, the throne signifies, well, the final word, ultimate rule.
Exactly. So the promise isn't shaky. It doesn't depend on us or our circumstances. It's rooted right in the nature, the position of the speaker.
And the scope. Everything new.
Yeah.
That's just staggering.
It is. It doesn't say making some things a bit better or tidying things up.
Right, not just improving what's already there.
No, it's comprehensive. Absolute. Which is why it's so important to grasp that this isn't just, say, a renovation.
Okay, explain that difference.
Yeah.
Renovation versus transformation.
Well, think about renovating a house, right? You work with the original structure. You might update the kitchen, paint the walls, maybe repair some damage. But it's still fundamentally the same house.
Right, you're improving it, making it better, but the core structure remains.
Precisely. Renovation maintains the core identity, but transformation, that speaks to a fundamental change, a change in nature or form.
Like a classic example, caterpillar to butterfly.
Exactly. It's not a renovated caterpillar. It's an entirely new creature. That's the level of change being promised here. A radical remaking. Something fundamentally new comes into being.
Something that wasn't there before in that form.
Yes. So it's not just about fixing the broken pieces, like you said. It might involve using them, but the result is something utterly different, something genuinely new.
Okay, that has huge implications for how we see ourselves.
Right.
Especially the parts we maybe don't like looking at.
Oh, definitely. We all have those areas, don't we? Those parts that feel stained by the past, those past mistakes that just keep echoing, leaving us with regret.
It's so easy to feel stuck there, stuck in yesterday, defined by what went wrong.
That feeling of being stuck, it's heavy. Regret can feel like the final verdict on who we are or who we could possibly be.
It keeps your eyes fixed backwards.
It does. And it can create this narrative, where your story is mainly about failure or loss or damage. But this promise, making everything new, it offers a way out of that loop.
A path forward.
Yes, into a story of redemption. It's about a divine intervention that actually transforms our personal history.
So instead of the past defining us forever, God actually rewrites the story, shifts the focus from regret to redemption, from failure to purpose.
That's the heart of it. And you asked earlier how that actually happens practically. The
Yeah.
idea of using broken pieces is really powerful here.
Talk more about that. What are these broken pieces?
Well, they're the fragments, aren't they? The damaged parts of our lives, failed relationships, maybe opportunities we missed, consequences of bad choices, the pain we've suffered, or even cause.
Things we'd rather hide. Things that feel like liabilities.
Exactly. Our first instinct is often to see them as, well, trash, stuff to be discarded, forgotten, evidence of our failures, or just how broken things are.
They feel like they disqualify us.
They really can feel that way, but the promise flips that completely. It says God takes those very things, the pain, the mistakes, the fragments, and uses them. Not as trash, but as the material God uses to build something more beautiful than before.
Wow. That's a radical reevaluation.
It truly is. It suggests that the very things that look like endings, like destruction, actually become the raw material for a new creation.
Like a divine artist taking the shards and weaving them into something new, something maybe even more beautiful than what was there originally.
Yes, not just putting things back the way they were, but creating something more beautiful out of the brokenness itself.
And this transformation, it deals with those specific burdens we carry, like regret and shame.
It does. The promise is that God takes that regret, that constant looking back, and replaces it with purpose. So instead of being stuck in what went wrong, your energy gets redirected. There's a meaningful future again.
And shame, that deep feeling of being flawed, exposed.
That gets rewritten with grace.
Ah, grace, that undeserved favor, acceptance that looks past the shame.
It's the absolute counterpoint to shame, isn't it? Grace doesn't ignore what happened. It doesn't pretend the actions or the feelings weren't real, but it removes their power to define you, to condemn you.
It offers a completely new basis for who you are.
Precisely. So this rewrite from shame to grace, regret to purpose, using broken pieces as building blocks, it underlines just how limitless this divine work is. Like the declaration says, this ability to transform has no limits.
That offers so much hope. It means no situation is too far gone, no past too dark for this promise to reach.
That's exactly what it means. No matter how deep the stain feels, how many pieces seem shattered, how overwhelming the shame or regret, this promise applies.
And is this just for, you know, the end times?
Yeah.
Or does it impact us now?
Oh, it's absolutely for now. While the promise definitely has ultimate cosmic fulfillment, it's also intensely personal. It's available today. It offers hope and strength for daily life.
How so?
Well, think about that beautiful assurance. God's mercies are new every morning.
You every morning. I love that phrase. It's incredibly comforting.
Isn't it? It suggests that yesterday's failures, yesterday's struggles, they don't have to chain you down today. The slate is, in a sense, wiped clean each morning. The grace is fresh.
A reliable, consistent flow of compassion. A chance for a fresh start every single day.
Exactly. No matter what happened yesterday, how badly you messed up, how overwhelmed you felt, the mercies available this morning are brand new, untainted.
That allows you to actually start the day with hope and strength, doesn't it? Instead of just dragging yesterday's weight along.
Yes. It's the fuel for living in this reality of everything new, but on a daily basis. It's how this grand promise becomes practical, touchable.
So this huge, sweeping promise of making everything new, it's also incredibly intimate, personal, daily.
Right. It's not just an abstract concept. It's an invitation to live differently starting right now.
Which brings us right back to where we started, doesn't it? That initial question, if this transformation is possible, if these mercies are new every day, what's our part?
It comes back to trust, doesn't it? The question wasn't, can you fix your life?
No, it was, can you trust God to make it new?
Exactly. The divine action is the engine here. Our response is about reliance, trust. It requires believing that the one on the throne, the one with limitless power, is not only able but actually willing to apply that power to your situation, your specific broken pieces, your regrets, your shame.
So it's about letting go, releasing our grip on that old story, the one defined by failure.
And entrusting those very things, even the painful ones, to the one who promises to make them into something beautiful.
Believing that grace really can rewrite shame, that purpose can replace regret, that takes faith.
It does. It's a step of faith. It's choosing, maybe daily, to orient yourself towards the one who is making all things new, instead of being held captive by what used to be, living in redemption, not just remembering regret.
Okay, so we've touched on this powerful declaration, making everything new, coming from ultimate authority. We've seen it's not just renovation, but radical transformation.
Right. A transformation that takes our personal stories of regret and shame, uses the broken pieces, and turns them toward redemption and purpose. Something beautiful.
And crucially, this power has no limits, and it's supported by mercies that are fresh every single morning.
And receiving it involves that posture of trust, believing it's for you today.
So let's leave you with that thought again. As you consider your own life, maybe those places that feel stuck or broken or defined by yesterday, ask yourself again, what area of your life needs a fresh start? And can you truly trust God to make it new?